Booyah! So, here we are, after 13,000 views in my heavy video, and me just basically in cardiac arrest by now. I am here today for a little update video, because I think it's very necessary. I found the kind of big flaw or hamartia in my TF2 comparisons, which is if a major update comes in, which they still happen all the time in TF2 because it's a regularly updated game, I'm going to run into major issues because I'm going to have to redo every single video again. Now, I'm very on the fence about doing every single video I've already done again because an awful lot of weapons were changed in this balance update. I mean a lot of weapons. I mean, like, I'd have to change every single video I've done very extensively, and it would take quite a long time. I wouldn't mind doing it, considering, you know, the more videos for me to make, but honestly, I think I'm just going to stick to the videos that I really think are necessary to do. Like, there's been some pretty major changes in 3 of the 4 non-stock miniguns. For that reason, also for the reason that I got about 13,000 views as of late, which is... holy crap, seriously, what the fuck, guys, you guys are amazing. Anyway, I'll just do an update on the old heavy miniguns and give you a synopsis of what changes were made. Alright, so first things first, we have the Tomislav. Now, this was the one I voted as best the last time, and considering I've kind of changed my policies a bit where I don't want to just say one is regularly the best, because there's no real upgrades in TF2, there's side grades. But anyway, the first minigun on the list is the Tomislav, and it got a major buff. First off, the spin up time is upgraded from 10% to 20%. Also, this is a big one, it's 20% more accurate. So, despite the terrible firing speed, it's still a pretty badass gun, because rather than just shooting everywhere, it requires more precise shooting. And, honestly, considering how it's very much a flank weapon, I think it's very, very good at coming around corners, quickly taking it out, being a completely silent killer. I think the accuracy boost really does help it as a stealth weapon. For that reason, I still think the silent killer ability is amazing, but with the added 20% accuracy, it's even better. So, it's probably still the best weapon in my opinion. It's definitely gone up. Like, I didn't want to say that it's... I no longer want to say that any one of them is the best, but if I were to pick one that wasn't the stock, I'd probably pick the Tomislav, even after all these updates, because genuinely it's made far better and far more useful. I could find so many uses for this, especially considering it's quite hard as a heavy running around with no pocket medic, and this kind of rectifies it as you can be a bit sneaky with the minigun. Alright, so the Natasha has got a weird kind of side grade, downgrade, upgrade kind of situation where it continues to slow the target. However, the biggest, where it continues to slow the target with a 25% damage penalty added on with a slower spin up time, but, and this is the crux of the matter, you add a 20% resistance to everything while you're spun up. This makes it so you last a lot longer on the field with the Natasha. For that reason, when you're in a fight and you're against other heavies, or really anything else, like my big argument in my last video was that the Natasha wasn't effective enough by itself against other heavies, and it's definitely changed my situation thanks to this. It makes it a lot more versatile against other miniguns because you can last a lot longer. The main downgrade this has is no longer 300 ammo, it's 200 ammo, which honestly I'm pretty okay with that. I never saw why it needed 300 ammo. I thought you could just get more ammo or go into the car or really do anything, or just kill a guy, take his ammo pack. Anything you can do can get you back up to 200, no bother. I never saw a reason to have it for 300, and now that's gone, I don't really miss it. However, my point stands as per the last video. I don't think this is the best minigun. I think it's very, very effective against scouts. I think it's basically a scout killer. If a scout is pissing you off as a heavy, take this thing out and you will destroy every scout in your way. It's also pretty good against trick stabbing spies, because if a trick stabbing spy tries to strafe against you, it'll just about make him slow enough if you hit him with the minigun right, and it definitely works against that. So in more close in person situations, it definitely works as a support weapon, as in like, if you, for example in comp, it definitely works as it slows down the team while simultaneously giving them damage, so your other players, such as the demo, can certainly do the damage necessary. The Hulong Heater didn't get any change. This is the only non-stock minigun that didn't get a change. All of the stock minigun did get some changes, but this is the only minigun that didn't really get any proper changes. It still does the exact same thing. 6 ammo per second is taken up by the Hulong Heater. And this is still not sustainable. Yes, granted, there's all these different ways now to get your ammo, and which were there in the first place, but anyway, there's all these different versatile ways to get ammo. but it just slows you down. And it's not, if the perk was bigger than just having a ring of fire so you can stop spies easier, I'd be more impressed. Like, it's very, very good for spies, especially with a bicycle. If a spy tries to kill you with a bicycle, they're in serious doo-doo with this thing. And honestly, it's very, very good for intimidation as well, because it's kind of scary as a scout or a class that has to be up close and personal, especially as a spy, to have a ring of fire around you in order to take down certain classes. But, and this is a big but, I still don't see the huge damage reduction you get as sustainable. Granted, it's very much like the stock in every way, except you're always out of ammo, and if a medic tries to uber you, which they often do, you are completely set up dry, because I never have a shotgun. I see no point in it when the sandwich exists. Basically, I never have ammo, and I just can't afford to use the shotgun, which I play heavy a lot in Highlander comp, and I can't afford to use the shotgun because the sandwich has so many more uses. So for that reason, definitely a good weapon if you have a spy heavy team in pubs, but otherwise I don't see a huge use for it. Finally, we have the Brass Beast. Now the Brass Beast got the exact same upgrade as the Natasha got. It still has plus 20 damage, it still makes you minus 60 speed when you're not moving, but the big crux of the matter is that you plus 20% damage reduction. In my last video, a lot of comments were saying that you're like a sentient turret, and I actually agree with it more so because of the increased resistance to other damages, because it actually, you do last quite a lot longer in many situations because you can take a far greater hit. However, this is still a great however, honestly, the heavy's been upgraded so that if you hit 450 damage, you can't get one-shotted by the sniper. I'm pretty sure that's the case, so if you're fully overhealed, you can't get one-shotted. For that reason, this weapon no longer has the issues of snipers as great an extent as it did for, in my opinion, towards the Brass Beast, but the spy still exists. The spy will still spot you out, and the fact that you can't move and you're completely reliant on your mouse, he will take advantage, he will backpedal, he can kill you faster than you can say not the back. So for that reason, it actually does work a lot better than it used to work. I think the addition of the 20% damage resistance makes it so you can take a far greater hit. But despite this, you still do soak up a lot of damage because you're not moving. Granted, you don't move much when you spawn up, but it's enough to strafe out of some heavy fire or possibly a rocket or two. You have almost no movement still, and it can still be a huge hurdle to overcome, especially against spies. However, I still see use for it if you very much enjoy the damage boost. And it actually is incredibly useful if you want to use it in man versus machine, although that is completely unrelated. Valve are clearly trying to make a point that they want every minigun to be equally used. And considering in comp I only use the stock, I never use anything else, it does prove a point. They want to buff every other weapon so that it's used in equal measure. For example, they want the Natasha to be used as a support weapon for the demo if the demo is better than you and is better at clinching kills or whatever. They want the Hulon Heater to be an anti-spy weapon if the spy is a fucking god, which happens sometimes. They want the Thomas Laugh to be used as a silent flanker in order to take the opponents off guard if you want them to be. And they want the Brass Beast to be a pure damage dealer / spam eater because you can eat a lot of spam when you're using it. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about. All of them have been kind of buffed except for the Hulon Heater, which just kind of stays in the corner. All of them have been buffed, and this is clearly an indicator that Valve wants to lead the frontier into matchmaking. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys are enjoying the new gun Mettle update, and I hope you have a nice day.